Hello, welcome back to Seconds Out. My name is Ayman Khan here with former two-weight world champion Oscar Valdez. Oscar, how's the alligator?
He's good. He's getting bigger, bigger every day, man. He's growing.
Do you still wrestle with that thing?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Well, every time usually after every fight, we get around with me and my friends, get him out of his comfort zone. Then we take him to the pool. We, I have a nice swim with him. So yeah, people who follow me on Instagram will get to see those little videos that I do.
Are they like misunderstood creatures? Because I'd imagine like you'd have had an injury by now from them.
Well, alligators are different from crocodiles. So
Right.
alligators are more docile. So I've had my alligators ever since it was this big. It could fit in the palm of my hand. Now it's 14 years later. He's bigger than me and he's stronger than me. I can't hold him myself. Had two of my friends hold him while I pick him up. It's still a dangerous animal. He's tame or not trained, but yeah, it's my baby. It's my baby boy.
How do you know that an alligator like likes you?
Well, during time, I never. Being honest, when I got it was pretty irresponsible from my side because, I thought just by following my idol, which was Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter, I thought I was an expert, and I really wasn't. So when I had him as a baby, I started educating myself a little bit, on crocodiles and alligators and reptiles in general, and I just fell in love with them. It's hard to explain how you get to see him, but you actually feel his vibration and how on when he's in a good vibe or when is he angry, when he's in a stress environment, and you rather leave him alone. So you learn that over time because every reptile, every crocodile, and every alligator are different. They got their own personalities as well.
I remember watching Steve Irwin as a kid growing up and watching his shows and loving his enthusiasm for animals. I didn't know he was big over in America as well too. Have you seen his son doing stuff as well?
Yes, yes. Seen his son. I'm a big follower of his son now, but my idol. Well, it wasn't Superman. It wasn't no Batman. It was Steve Irwin. That guy was crazy. God bless his soul. He was my inspiration when I was a kid. It was him over here in the United States and Mexico, and there was another one, Jeff Gordon as well. But Steve Irwin he was a man. Everybody. He just educated us so much in the animal kingdom.
Indeed, very much. And you're someone as well who is inspiring a lot of people to Oscar. I addressed you at the start of the interview as former two-weight world champion. Former world champion in general isn't something that you want to be hearing from much more often. What do you feel about that current status and getting towards the path to a title?
Well, it means the world to me right now. This fight I got in front of me, Leon Wilson. I'm taking this fight very seriously. I always take all fights very seriously, but this one in general, it could. It's very important because winning this fight will put will put you in a position to fight for the world title. That's every fighter's goal. I've got the taste to being a world champion at 126. Then I left the division. Then I became a world champion at 130. Then I lost it. Then I had another chance, and I got to taste what it feels like. It is very addicting. It just feels great and amazing being a world champion. You have that you have that resume behind you. But now that I'm not a champion, I miss it. I miss so much being called a champion. I miss feeling like a champion, feeling that proudness. So this means the world to me. This means the world to me. Coming back strong. Proving some people wrong who say that I don't got it in me already. I've always trained very hard. I've always considered myself a very disciplined fighter. It became a lifestyle of always training, always eating well, always staying focused on the main thing. And these are things I don't really like saying them because I like demonstrating with my fist. I like showing it in the fight. So I just kind of express how much I miss it being in the ring, and I can't wait for March 29th.
I've read and listened to some of your interviews that you've given previously after defeats that you've had, and it feels like you kind of really beat yourself up for losses. Like, where does that come from?
Well, I'm just a sore loser, man. I feel like everybody in this position of elite level, it just sucks to lose, man. Sucks to lose, and the way I've lost, first against Shakur, it was devastating. That being impotent, not letting your own shot, and it was very frustrating. And then with the Vaquero Navarrete, knowing that we can go toe to toe and give the fans what they want. I was fighting pretty much in my backyard in Arizona, and having all my people there and losing in front of them, and in that fashion that I lost, it beat me down morally beat me down. I was at the lowest, and I was embarrassed to walk out the streets, and not so much because of my face, because we're fighters, that's what it is, but so much just by losing. It just sucks in general. But I've always considered myself a very optimistic person, very positive person. It was hard to bounce back, go back to the gym. I used discipline more than motivation because I wasn't motivated at all to go to the gym. I hated it. I woke up and I'll wake up and I was like, I don't want to go to the gym. But that's where you need the discipline to kick in. Discipline was making me go to the gym. After 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I said, okay, we passed that. This suck it up. That's life. You win some, you lose some. I can't be crying over this. We got to be a man about it, and we got to prove people wrong if that's what it takes. So right now, I'm very focused on winning this fight because I just can't wait. People don't understand how much this means to me. It means the world, and I'm going to try to demonstrate it this March 29th.
I can appreciate you're an ultimate competitor, but from Shakur to Lopez to Navarrete to Wilson, those are good fights, good variety of fights too. Do you feel you get the recognition for being someone who wants to put themselves in that position, being someone who wants to deliver for fans and deliver good fights?
I hope so. I mean, I can't say if it does. I hope that there's certain people out there who I do feel um, they don't take it for granted. Mostly a couple of friends of mine, but in this era of boxing and life in general, I feel there's too much entertainment. There's a lot of YouTube, and there's a lot of boxing going around. There's a lot of all stars out there. You got people like Canelo, Terence Crawford, Teofimo Lopez, Gervonta Davis, and you got all these stars. So I feel those are the people are paying attention to, and fighters like me, I'm giving it my best. Giving it my best to give the fans what they want. Tough fights. I'm not looking for easy fights. I'm looking for opportunities. And if the opportunity is to fight this guy who was a tough fighter and maybe doesn't have a big name, but it's a tough fight, all right, let's do it. That's my opportunity. That's my path. Then I'll take it. Like I said, my dream is to become again a world champion and be considered one of the greats, man. Boxing means the world to me. Ever since I was a little kid, I looked up to great fighters, Oscar De La Hoya, Julio Cesar Chavez, Eric Morales, Barrera, and I always kind of wanted to be like them. So, to be somewhat like them, get closer to what they did, I got to win this fight.
Just going back to coming off of the defeat the last time around, what was the advice you got from Reynoso, Canelo, Martinez to get you back up to, uplift you?
Well, one thing for sure, prior to this Vaquero Navarrete fight, Canelo pulled me aside. He said, "Come here," and he said, "Fight for yourself. Don't fight for the fans. Just by winning, you'll give the fans what they want. Stick to the game plan." That's what he said. We lost. I didn't stick to the game plan. Was like I said, I was embarrassed. And one of the things I was most embarrassed is that I didn't listen to it. I didn't listen to it. I wanted. There was times of the fight where I wanted to knock him out, and that's a big mistake in boxing. It's like trying to hit a home run when you got a fast pitcher. You don't look for the home run. You don't look for the knockout. If it comes, it comes. And I was so excited with the crowd, with my people, I was looking for a knockout. So when I came back up to, now in camp that I seen Canelo, he pulled me aside again. He looked at me, he smiled and said, "Remember what I told you?" I said, "Yeah." And he said, "All right, that's in the past. Forget about it. Now this time, win the fight. Stick to the game plan." That's all right. Let's do this. And I love that environment. I love that support. He didn't, not my trainer de Reynoso, not Canelo, not Rey Martinez, not Frank, not the whole team, my cousin Bubba. None of them shoved it in my face as far as we didn't go to the game plan. They said, "All right, that's in the past. Let's not focus on that. Let's focus on winning this next fight." That's the most important thing. So it is a great team that we got. I feel the support. I feel the love. Fans. I feel my family with me. So, what could go wrong right now? I'm very focused on this game plan.
Ahead of March 29th, how much of the tape have you watched of Wilson? What's your scout report on him as you prepare to take him on between the ropes?
Well, one thing I know, he's a tough fighter. I got nothing but respect for Leo Wilson. I never had nothing personal with any of my opponents. I would little less with Leon Wilson, who is a gentleman. I would describe, and a warrior inside the ring. When he fought Vaquero Navarrete, it showed how much heart he has of not quitting. He almost took the fight. He almost won the fight. Send it to the canvas. He's got a long reach. He uses well his jab, his 1-2. He carries a good left hook, digs well to the body. So we've been watching a lot of film on him, studying him. He likes to change southpaw sometimes. He does a variety of things. He's not an easy opponent. Not taking this fight nothing lightly. So we're studying. We've been working hard in the gym to come out victorious March 29th.
You and Wilson share something in common, that quality of the heart. Like you get dropped down, you're trying to get back up, you're trying to rise off the canvas and put the other one back on the ground. It feels like to me this might come down to a will of whose heart is bigger, both for good and for bad.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it because, like I said, I've seen his heart. I've seen his heart. He's not an easy fighter. He's here to win, just like me. These are fights that could end up a fan friendly fight because none of us want to back down because we both know whoever wins this fight gets a step closer for the world title fight. So, like I said before, this fight means the world to me. I'm hungrier than ever because I already tasted what it feels like to be a world champion, and I want to get it back.
WBO route, the most likely route for you now, it seems that way.
WBO, yeah, WBO, WBC, whatever. I'll take it. WBC was my childhood belt. I felt over the years I've grown a big love towards the WBO. A lot of champions in that division. It means the world to me to become a WBO world champion. So I feel blessed to be in this position. So whatever belt it is, if it's WBO, great.
Oscar, just want to get a couple of things before I let you go. First of all, in the team, Canelo Alvarez, I talked about you delivering big fights and big fights. Some people not too happy with the prospect of Jamal Charlo. Is that the case? Is he fighting Charlo? And do you feel that some of the boxing fans aren't seeing this for what a good fight it could be?
Well, it could be a good fight. If Charlo wants to fight, his brother. On the other hand, I didn't see a lot of intentions. I felt he felt the power of Canelo. He didn't want to risk too much, and it's understandable. When these are things that are easier said than done. People say, "Oh, well, why don't you attack Canelo?" Well, maybe because the guy hits hard. It's easier said than done. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's Charlo, if it's I've been hearing a lot of rumors on Munguia. Either way, I think it'll be a great fight. Whoever fights with Canelo is the cash cow. He's the Mayweather of his era as far as who he's got the money. He's the money man. So of course everybody wants to fight him. But then again, Canelo, he's done it all already. He fought Cotto, he fought Mayweather, Mosley, Golovkin, all these guys going up divisions. I think he's doing the same thing as Mayweather did at the time. He's in that position where he can pick and choose who he fights and who he makes a big amount of money. So I do see a lot of criticisms towards him, but it's just you gotta understand people. Canelo is the cash cow. He's the face of boxing as far as who makes the most money. So everybody will want to fight him.
The other side of the equation, I saw on TV Azteca in the interview he gave, he said, I'm not really interested in fighting Terence Crawford because I won't get the credit because he's coming up the weight set. And I actually understand what Canelo is saying, that people will kind of not give him the credit if he beats Crawford and has that fight. But also a lot of people kind of want to see that pound for pound clash between the two. Do you want to see it?
Um, no, and this is the reason why I personally wasn't because I like Terence Crawford.
Hmm.
Terence Crawford is one of my favorite fighters. I got nothing but respect for my admiration for Terence Crawford. The same way I got admiration for Canelo. So having those two fight would be like, I just don't like it. But also, I agree with Canelo. If he were to win, it's a lose-lose for him because, he wouldn't get no credit. He's been criticized like that before when he fought him against Amir Khan.
Hmm.
and then he goes up in divisions, and when he fights, he wins, and they don't give him that much of a credit. So Canelo's been saying that over the years that a lot of these fights don't have a lot to win. That's why he was moving up division, trying to get some type of recognition. You know, not a lot of people knew who Bilbao was. These casual boxing fans. So when Bilbao beat him, boxing fans, hardcore boxing fans, knew who Bilbao was. It was a dangerous fight. When he beat him, then Bilbao got the name. But you know, Canelo has to do these type of things so he gets to the recognition of the people, because you know he always gets a bad rep. If you were to fight Terence Crawford, I agree. If he wins, all because it was a small weight class, and if he loses, well, the little fighter beat the bigger fighter. So I think it will make more sense. Someone like Teofimo and Terence Crawford. I know they don't like each other. Maybe I've seen a lot of back and forth this last fight. So that's kind of the same thing as Canelo and Terence Crawford. So yeah, you never know till they actually do it. You know, it's been done before. You've seen fighters that from the past that go up divisions and win, but I think Canelo is just it's too many divisions up. I don't see it.
In your career, a couple of fights early in Mexico, then all in the US. When are you coming to the UK?
Man, I would love it. I would love finding UK, man. My last fight over there was London Olympics. But yeah, I mean, I wish it could happen, but I don't know. You know, it all depends. You know, I do like my promoter is Bob Arum. He makes the calls. I would like to have fight back home as well, Mexico. It was early in my career when I fought there, and haven't fought there ever since. So wherever it is, I enjoy every moment of the fights.
I think you and Joe Cordina would be a really good fight.
Yeah. I mean, he's a great fighter. He's a great fighter in the UK. I don't know if how well known I'm recognized in that part of the world, but I would definitely love it.
Finally, I'll leave the final word with you. You're taking on an Australian. You were influenced heavily by an Australian growing up in the form of Steve Owen. So now you're fighting an Australian. But what's your prediction for the fight against Liam Wilson?
Winning the fight. Showing a class act fight by myself. That's the main focus. Winning the fight in the class act.
Oscar, pleasure. It's all mine. Thank you so much for speaking to Seconds Out, sir. Wishing you all the best for the fight.